Ladies and gentlemen, this is Intervlog. I say this is Intervlog, and I am here once more. I'm here because there is one important information that I brought you today, and this information is a beautiful one. This is the first time we are hearing such information from a leader in Africa. And you would ask me, what is the information all about? Well, the information is the secret of Ibrahim Traore, what he is targeting, and the reason things are falling into good shape in Burkina Faso. I know you would still be asking me, what do I mean by that? Well, during this speech that you are going to listen here, Ibrahim Traore said that he is going to focus on two things when we talk about governance in Burkina Faso. And these two things are going to be two major things that he is going to focus on. The reason is that he has identified that with these two things, Burkina Faso will change within a very short period of time. And what is he talking about? He said he's going to focus on sports. That the reason many youth do things that are not supposed to be done was because there is no good activities for the youth. There are some youth who have energy to do some sports, but there is no place to feed that energy. There is no sports created for that energy. And instead of using the energy positively, he will use it negatively, because there are so many sportsmen and women who are not educated, but they are very, very good in boxing. They are good in high jump. They are good in miling. They are good in many, many things that the educated ones cannot do. If you go to United States, NBA players, majority of them are not educated. Some football players didn't even finish school. In Africa, all these people who are supposed to have been doing one sport or the other are roaming in the street, and this is the reason things are not working in some African countries. He said he is going to dedicate more time to create more sports for the youth, that every youth in Burkina Faso must to have something else that he is known doing in sports. This will stop you from engaging in illegal activities. This is number one. Then he said the number two is the most important one, but both of them go hand to hand. That number two is peace. That in order for peace to reign in a country, or in a state, or in a family, everybody has to be equal. Nobody should be treated as a president. Nobody should be treated as a king. Nobody should be treated as a governor. You are a governor. You are a king. You are a president. It's because one person has to lead. But when it reaches to treatment, everybody will be treated the same. That when you do this in a country, the country will become more peaceful than anybody can ever imagine. He said he learned this during the battle, that when the soldiers go to a battlefield, they don't fight each other. They become more friendly than ever. It doesn't matter whether you are a captain, whether you are a major, whether you are whatever in the soldier. Whenever you are in a battlefield, everybody is equal. You eat the same type of food. You laugh. You joke. Everybody is happy. The problem comes when they get into the governance, when someone will be packing the whole money that belongs to the entire country and will be misusing it. There, you begin to see problems. But if that practice of what is used during the fight is used for governance, the whole country will be happy at once. And after listening to what he said, I nod my head and I say, yes, this is how a good leader thinks. And this is the reason Ibrahim Traore is not living flamboyant life. And this is the reason Ibrahim Traore is always wearing camouflage. He doesn't want to feel bigger than anybody in Burkina Faso. He wants everybody in Burkina Faso to be serving Burkina Faso equally. He goes to work every day. He visits villages every day. He moved from one place to another. He does not have Toyota Land Cruiser SUVs. He refused to prove Toyota Land Cruiser SUVs to any government official. But governor, minister, local government chairman, lawmaker, president, none of them is allowed to use all those exotic Toyota Land Cruiser SUV in Burkina Faso. And this is the reason everybody is happy. They have known that the governor or the president or the minister or prime minister is not enjoying better than any other person.
By dedicating an entire ministry to it. In the coming days, this reorganization will be done, and you will see how we will evolve. At the level of sport, youth and sports, we have deemed it necessary to take back control. We need to take back control to refocus. Because firstly chosen, sport allows us to avoid a certain number of vices. Drugs, alcohol, certain screws of society can be fought through sport. We therefore want to set up centers in all regions, reconsider the USUBF and all sports disciplines, to be able to promote them and create nurseries, so that at the professional level, we have the maximum number of Burkinabés who defend the colors of Burkina Faso abroad. The ministry that will be focused on that. There are already many texts that have been written, and we will implement this from the next day after the reshuffle to create these spaces ourselves. This will require that we can unite a certain number of forces to achieve this. And I am counting on you at the level of each region and each province to be able to have this sporting discipline and to encourage each other to do sport, to be able to identify talents and make them emerge. So, some aspects of governance, such as the digital transition, we are not going to focus on that because it is a somewhat new process. We are in the dematerialization to be able to fight against corruption and also to facilitate many things for users. The process has already been launched, and you see every day the applications that are created, which allow us to be able to facilitate a good number of activities at the user level. Even at the level of justice, you have been able to see the criminal records, and the nationality certificate today can be easily obtained online. So we will continue in this process as well. So let's return to the humanitarian field. We have instructed the ministry. It is the Ministry of Women, Gender, Social Cohesion, and Humanitarian Action. They are the ones who deal with all these issues. But we have decided, in a first phase, to focus on humanitarian action, in particular supporting populations who return to their villages. Today, many imagine populations returning to their villages at the beginning of the season or during the rainy season. It is very difficult for them to be able to feed themselves at that time. So, some aspects may feel less the presence of the ministry, in particular gender, and others. This is because we have to instruct the ministry to focus on humanitarian action as the villages return, so that the villages can have the minimum to survive. And then, from a certain point on, we will be able to focus on all these aspects. Because the social cohesion we are talking about can only come about when people eat their fill first. A poor person and a rich person cannot sit at the same table and talk. If one is hungry and the other, it is complicated. This is what I spend my time telling everyone who comes to talk to us about social cohesion. Someone cannot be hungry, and someone who is hungry, you want to sit them down to talk at the same table. It is not possible. Everyone must have something to eat first. That is why. It is in the fight that there is cohesion. Let us agree to fight. It is in the fight. It is in the war that the AS was born. It is in the fight that we were able to unite in the Sahel. And it is in the fight that the Burkinabés are ending. Go and see all these villages that are turning around. I invite you to go around. Many have come from different provinces. They may be in their village with disagreements. They were sought out. But when they return, they are more united than ever.
So what Ibrahim Traore received during his training and what he saw on the battlefield is what he is using to govern Burkina Faso. And I said, this is beautiful. And I pray. May other presidents in Africa hear this? because there is no way you will tell your country that you are fighting for corruption while you are approving for private jet for yourself and your wife with your family. Nobody will believe that. There is no way you will tell your country as a president that you are trying to build your economy while you are traveling to Japan to pack 1,000 pieces or 500 pieces of Toyota Land Cruiser SUV, new ones, that each one costs $200,000 bulletproofed. If you had a thought of economy of your country, what you would have done is using that money which you used to buy the Toyota Land Cruiser SUV to procure tractors for the farmers. And that is exactly what Ibrahim Traore did. Immediately, he came into office. Money that's supposed to be used for Toyota Land Cruiser SUV, for presidential jets, for those things, he said he does not need all those things, and none of his officials need all those extravagant life. They took that money and bought tractors, created a job for the farmers, sent everybody to work. What did this make? This made everybody to love him more. And up to today, he does not have one vehicle approved to him as the presidential vehicle. He has his own personal car, which is Land Cruiser Defender 2001 model. He lives life like any other person Burkina Faso. And what did this bring? Peace in the country. That is what it brought. Tell your president that if he wants peace in your country, let him stop using exotic cars when the masses are suffering. Let him stop approving for Toyota Land Cruisers 400 pieces, 300 pieces, 1,000 pieces for his political friends while the masses are suffering. Tell him to stop approving for new houses for his political friends and huge salaries for political friends while the masses are suffering. You cannot be approving all these things and think that the masses will see you as an angel. And Ibrahim Traore has seen that this is the reason that is a problem in some countries. This video will teach a lot of people a lesson that if you want peace in your country, stop misusing money. Thank you very much for watching. This is the entire vlog. Thank you.